Next up will be NeoMaTE. NeoMaTE, begin when you're ready.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. 15 million infants are born premature every year, causing great distress to parents around the world. In a healthy full-term infant, family members often get to participate in something called skin-to-skin care. Skin-to-skin is the action of placing the baby on the bare chest of a parent or a sibling, furthering their bond, increasing milk production, and soothing the baby. But for these premature infants, it means so much more. Within level 4 NICU settings, one of the more acutely ill patient populations we care for is micro-premature infants, those born at 22 to 26 weeks. One of the most important things that we can do for any premature infant is provide skin-to-skin care. Skin-to-skin care has many benefits for these premature infants. It provides cardiovascular and respiratory stability, temperature regulation, decreased irritability and fussiness, decreased infant stress and pain, reduced length of the NICU stay, and most importantly, it contributes to the development of the infant's premature central nervous system. Since skin-to-skin is so important for the health and development of these premature infants, it is important that they are exposed to the same stimulation, even though they may be unable to leave their isolettes due to prematurity or being physiologically unstable. Because of their instability, these micro-premature infants are often stripped of the privileges that skin-to-skin provides. This is where the NeoMaTE skin-to-skin simulator comes into play. This premature infant can be placed on the device within their isolette and receive simulations of respiratory, cardiac, and temperature regulation functions. With the implementation of this device, we are integrating the benefits of skin-to-skin care to an infant who would not be deemed safe to participate in the traditional sense, allowing for the best possible outcomes for each infant. Our team is in the process of creating a skin-to-skin simulator to give the best chance of positive outcomes for each and every premature baby. This device, approximately 8 inches by 11 inches in size, can be programmed to simulate the mother's respirations and cardiac tones, as well as regulate the infant's temperature. For the respiratory function, this device will have a gentle rise and fall to simulate the natural chest rise of the mother. In regards to cardiac simulation, this device would provide acoustic recordings of the mother's own heartbeat to be utilized inside the device. This device will also mimic normal body temperature, approximately 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. Overlaying this product would be a silicone-like substance that would be easy to clean but not be damaging to the premature infant's fragile skin. Skin-to-skin care is something that has been proven to increase infants' health outcomes and decrease the length of the NICU stay. By introducing a product that can simulate the skin-to-skin contact for these vulnerable infants, we are increasing the likelihood of infant survival and decreasing the risk of chronic complications. By implementing a device to provide simulated skin-to-skin care to these premature babies, we are providing the most innovative form of preventative medicine. Studies have shown that the increase in central nervous system development seen with skin-to-skin care leads to fewer adverse chronic health complications long-term. With a skin-to-skin simulator such as NeoMaTE, we are helping better the lives of premature infants, one simulator at a time. Don't let these babies miss a beat. Use NeoMaTE.
Time.
Bugsy, we'll start with questions with you.
Okay, NeoMaTE, when I Googled that, there were 77,000 hits in 0.48 seconds. One of them has a trademark for a seat restriction device for babies. So you may need to change your name and get some issues there.
I've actually looked at that, and NeoMaTE is my shortened name. The name stands for Neonatal Marsupial and Transition Enhancer. So that's how we've kind of crossed that.
So yeah, I'm not a lawyer, so I don't play one. So I would just get some help there. Is this a disposable, or is this something that we would clean and then use it again?
It is something that can be cleaned and used again, and it's also something that we would encourage them to take home with them after their hospital stay.
Yeah, that would be the smarter thing, so you get recurring revenue. Let them go
Yes.
home with it. And your market of the preemie baby, 22 to 26 weeks, those are micro preemies and they're very delicate. I would add in the NAS population, so you got a bigger market and faster. So, very nice.
Thank you.
Have you done any sort of prototyping with this as of yet? I mean, I know you have a lot of different ideas, and I'm really concerned about sizing and material makeup.
Yes, we have started our prototype development, but I will let Reagan speak on that.
Yeah, so I'm actually one of the engineers working with Erin. We have a group of about 3 other people working with me. We've started the prototype process, and we've ordered some stuff to kind of get the linear movement for the breasts under control, but due to COVID, we're kind of having to put some of that on pause because it's more of a kind of hands-on project. But we are planning on finishing the prototype when we come back to school next semester, and we already have a design laid out for it and everything. So we just need that time together to actually start building it.
Thank you.
Hey guys, it may just be me on this, but I'm really having a hard time understanding what the product actually looks like. I saw in the video, you have the breathing, the mechanical thing, but what actually is it? Is it something the baby lays on, or I picture a robot? I don't know. It's very
Yes.
complicated in my head.
The product is about the size of a spiral notebook, and it will lay underneath the infant, and it will move up and down to simulate the chest rise and fall for respirations. And inside of it will have the acoustic heart tones. And there will be a swaddle apparatus to actually keep the infant enclosed and safe on the product.
Got it. Okay. And then has there been other products, or are there other products or research on this actually can replace or get close to the skin-to-skin contact that you were talking about originally?
There are not any other products on the market right now that do the same thing, but there is research that suggests it's just the rhythmic actions of the respirations and the heart rate that helps the infant kind of mimic and stabilize.
Hi. My question is a branding one. Can you tell me the significance of the uppercase and lowercase letters in NeoMaTE? It's a little distracting to me. Just wanted to understand why you chose to write it out that way.
We did that to kind of avoid what Dr. Adair mentioned, that there is a pediatric restraint called NeoMaTE. And so what we did with the uppercase letters in NeoMaTE was to kind of highlight what it actually stands for, which is the neonatal marsupial transition enhancer. So that's what we did for that.
I'm kind of with Leanna on this one. I would really like to see, and even Micah, I would really like to see a prototype, and I could just be some dumb guy from Middle Tennessee, but this sounds extremely futuristic to me. This sounds like and kudos, if you guys have a product, it sounds cool, but I'm kind of having a hard time envisioning this working effectively and the feasibility of something like this in such great care. I love you guys have certainly identified the problem. There's no question. And I think that there is a solution here. But again, not coming from this industry, it just seems very complex. So I would think a prototype would do wonders for you all once you can produce one.
We are working, but because of the situation, we are kind of delayed in our prototype development, but it is quite a simple mechanical process.
Yeah, the mechanical process for it's actually, like she said, pretty simple. It's basically just going to be like a cyclic motor or a linear actuator that's going to move the bed part of the machine up and down. And I mean, essentially the only other thing that we would have to attach to it is the acoustic sound. And then the heating apparatus that we found is almost like a heating pad, but it will have like the kind of like CPR skin over the top of it. That way it has that feel of skin. So it's actually pretty simple, but I can see where you're coming from, that it is kind of futuristic.
Thank you.
So I think this sounds really interesting and like a much needed product. My question is a little bit around not being in that industry as well. Is there any difference, or can the child lay on their face or their back? Is there any restrictions to the material or the product itself, but then also other care that infant needs during that time, whether it's a jaundice mat or lights, or have you researched to see if there's any complications with other treatment that a child at that phase would be receiving?
So we like to do what we call tummy time, if you will, where they lay on their stomach, and that would be how they'd be positioned on the NeoMaTE pad. In regards to complications with other treatment, it wouldn't put any other restraints than they would typically be facing. So just because it's gonna be laying under them, they'd still be able to get like the Billy lights for jaundice and things like that in their care.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Since we're still going, just quickly, the safety aspect.
Time.